Hi, friends, and welcome to the Autoimmune Mom Podcast. I'm your host, Allie. This is a space for moms navigating life with autoimmune disease, the exhaustion, the guilt, the strength it takes to show up, and the hope that we can still live full, meaningful lives even when our bodies make things harder. Each week, we'll have honest conversations with moms living with autoimmune disease, share practical support, and remind each other we are not alone in this journey. Before we dive in, if this podcast resonates with you, it would mean so much to me if you would follow or subscribe wherever you're listening, leave a review, and share this episode with another mom who needs it. You can also connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Autoimmune Mom Podcast, where I share encouragement, resources, updates about new episodes. If you're looking for extra support, you can download my free Autoimmune Mom Survival Guide through the link in my bio. Let's get into today's episode. Hey, welcome back to the Autoimmune Mom Podcast. Before we get into today's episode, just wanted to remind you that I have a new website, theautoimmunemom.com. You can find all of my episodes there. You can sign up for my email alerts when episodes are live. You can leave a review. Please leave a review, 5-star review, wherever you're listening. It helps people to find the show. Also, you can request to be on the show if that's something that you'd be interested in sharing your story. Or if you have a friend that you like to nominate, please do. I'd love to be connected with anybody that is interested in being a part of the Autoimmune Mom Podcast. You can do that all on my website. Again, theautoimmunemom.com. You can find me on social media, Instagram, not on TikTok. So Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Autoimmune Mom Podcast. And you can find me there. So yeah, let's get into today's episode. Today, I'm coming at you from a different location. I am in my sauna room. So today's episode is all about saunas. If you've ever found yourself maybe late at night Googling, can an infrared sauna help my ABC, XYZ autoimmune disease? You're not alone. I know I did. And today I'm sharing my experience with the research, what the research says, common questions people are asking online, and why this practice has become one of the most supportive tools in my own autoimmune recovery. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor. Before we begin this episode, this is for educational purposes only. I am sharing my personal experience with the valuable research that I've done, but it's not medical advice. Always talk to your healthcare provider about what's appropriate for you. I like heat. I know MS and people with POTS and things like that, they don't do so well with heat. So this episode might not be for you, but for the rest of you out there who may have considered it, I'm happy to share what I've learned, and you can take it or leave it. So anyways, with that said, how did I get into infrared saunas? Well, early in my diagnosis, I was working at my uncle's spa. He owns the Black Tie Spa for Men. It's in Norwell, Massachusetts, right on the Hingham Line. Excuse me. And he has he's a workout wellness junkie, and one of the treatments at his spa is a steam room. And so he was always telling me, you should get in the steam room, you feel so much better. And at this time I'm running marathons and I'm training, but early into my early diagnosis. So I never really enjoyed the steam room. I don't like that steam in my face. I just felt claustrophobic in there, and it was never a thing for me. But at the same time, my gym had a dry sauna. So I decided, well, I'll try the dry sauna. I don't like the wet sauna. I don't like the steam, but maybe I can, maybe I like the dry because I hate the cold. So now it's like February in Massachusetts. We haven't seen the sun in months, and it's raining and miserable and snowing and cold. I don't feel good. My joints hurt. Everything's stiff, miserable. And I found that I really enjoyed the sauna. So I started doing my own research and how to use the sauna and when to use the sauna and how long should I be in the sauna and what's the best time of day for the sauna. Now I have 2 babies, and the amount of time it takes to get a 1 and 2-year-old into the car, buckled in with the snowsuits and the snow hats and all that, drive in the snow and the sleet and the rain and the cold weather to this gym, which was 20 minutes from my house, get them there, get them into the daycare, and then I work out, and then I take a sauna, and then you have to shower afterwards because you don't want to reabsorb the toxins that you sweat out. And then now it's like my kids are freaking out in the daycare, and it was too much. So then it became, okay, well, I'll work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll do the sauna Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then we'll go to the gym every single day. And my kids hate the gym, and I ended up like not working out and just doing the sauna. And then it was not working well for me. And I knew it wasn't an infrared sauna. Now I'm doing all the research and it's like infrared is better. It's gentler. It actually heats you from the inside. So that's pretty much the difference. The traditional saunas, they heat the air around you. It's just a hot room with air. But an infrared sauna uses infrared light to warm your body directly. So think about it from the inside out. And it doesn't, and often it's at much lower temperatures. So some people, when you first start, maybe it's only 110 degrees. Others, you can get up to 140. Mine only goes up to like 100, like you can set it to 155, I think, but it never really reaches anything over 140. Um, 43, I think, is the max, which just means it's a lot more tolerable because a lot of those dry saunas are like 190 degrees and it's very hot in there and it's not as tolerable. And so people don't use it as much. But with an infrared sauna, it is gentler to the body. So really wanted a sauna in my house really bad because this is just too much. I'm not feeling, and at this point, my flares are so bad and I'm miserable and there's no working out. Now I'm just going to the gym for the sauna, which was still a lot of work when you can't move your body. And I was in pain and my feet and hands hurt so bad. So getting the kids in and out of the car, I couldn't even put my boots on. They hurt so bad. My hands hurt so bad. So, um, talking to my parents about it, I want a sauna that's low in EMF because I'm reading about how those are so bad for you. And, I was deep into the rabbit hole of holistic treatments and things like that. So I wanted the one that was low EMF, but they are like a lot more money. And my mom was basically said, I'm just going to get you the one at Costco. And she bought me the one at Costco for like $1,800. This is 10 years ago. So it was a 2-person sauna in one of my basement. It was life giving. Like it was the best gift I've ever been given. I loved it so much. I used it almost daily, especially in the cold winter months. And everything was better. Again, this is not something that I used in replace of treatment. I was still doing my treatment. This was just a layer of support that has help me detoxify, help me to feel better. It's just another little thing that I can do to support my own treatments. But let's talk a little bit about infrared sauna. And, like for me, I've had it for 10 years, but this is not a new thing. This has been something that is centuries old. In Finland, saunas are woven into every single day life. Historically, they are places for recovery, for childbirth, for cleansing and community. Finland has millions of saunas. Much of today's sauna research is coming out of Finland because they have the most robust use of saunas. But we can trace this all the way back to many indigenous cultures in North America. They long used sweat lodges and ceremonies, and sacred practices for prayer, reflection, healing, and connection. These traditions are deeply spiritual and should not be equated to commercial sauna use at all. They're two totally different things. But it is interesting to think that, well, uh, these cultures tens of thousands of years ago were using heat not only for warmth but for spiritualness, for their body's own detoxifications, and also for community. I tend to think less of like that, and we'll get into why in a minute for me personally, but it is worth reflecting on that these have been used for centuries. The ancient Romans built bathhouses where people moved through different temperatures to relax, socialize, and restore. They went from hot to cold to hot to cold. The Turkish people, they evolved the Roman traditions and became more important cultural spaces focused on cleansing and well-being. In Japan, onsen and sento bathing traditions emphasized restoration, relaxation, and intentional self-care. Intentional self-care, moms. We're going to come back to that one. It reminds us that using heat to support wellness isn't a modern trend. Humans have been turning to warmth, rest, and community for centuries. We tend to think of this as the newest trend. People are using ice baths and they're using heat, and they go from the ice baths to the heat to the ice bath, back and forth. This is a trend we're seeing, and it's at one point it was all over social media, and this is what everyone's doing. Well, I have had a sauna for a decade, so this isn't new to me, and it's not new to the world. It's just new to social media. So we tend to think of it as a new age wave thing, but this is something that has been around for centuries. and it has been used in many, 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 many different ways. So maybe it's not the best place for relaxation, but maybe it is for detoxification, or maybe it's best used for you to meditate. Maybe you like to go in there and pray for prayer. There's a different, it doesn't have to be used. It's not cookie cutter. It's not used for one thing. It's used for whatever works best for you. What is the what are people saying? What are the benefits? Most often, it's reduced pain and stiffness, improved sleep, relaxation, better circulation, reduces stress, enhanced recovery from working out. That's what my husband uses it for. While experiences vary, the most common reasons people choose to incorporate sauna are personal, and not every single day that you use it do you get every single benefit. That's what I found. Some days I get the relaxation from it. Some days I get energy from it. Some days I get reduced inflammation. Most days when I go in there, I do experience a reduced inflammation, but not every day. The more I use it, the more benefit I feel. The less I use it, I tend not to feel as much. So you have to keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. So what does the research say specifically for autoimmune disease? Well, it's pretty limited. Um, Existing studies suggest a potential benefit related to chronic pain and mood, relaxation, circulation, and quality of life. And infrared saunas are not a cure for autoimmune disease and should not be replaced for medical care. That's the way I like to think about it. Safety considerations. Let's obviously talk to your doctor. Stop immediately if you feel dizzy, nauseous, faint, or unwell. You need to make sure you're hydrating well. If this is something that you're going to plan on incorporating on a daily basis, you definitely need to replenish with electrolytes, minerals. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and buy the next new fad of whatever product is out there. It can be as simple as putting a quality Redmond salt or Celtic salt in your water with some lemon. Um, if you were to be severely dehydrated and end up in a hospital, they would give you an IV with saline water in it. And what is that? That's salt water. That's the best way to hydrate your body. Um, you don't need to spend a ton of money on them. Do they taste better if you spend the money? Absolutely. Sometimes they have extra things in it that'll help too, but lemon and salt in your water is really all you need. And just making sure that you're replenishing what you're sweating out if you're using it on a regular basis. What's the best practices? I would say start with a 10 to 15-minute session at a lower dose, at a lower at a lower temperature, 110 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Stay hydrated the whole entire time. I sip water when I'm in there. I tend to drink a lot of water when I'm in there, but hydration starts before you start sweating. So it's, sipping water all day long with the salt or the electrolyte, whatever product you use and love is fine. And then you want to gradually increase your duration and temperatures as tolerated. You want to listen to your body and prioritize consistency over intensity. This was something I learned the hard way because I came very much from the mentality of no pain, no gain. I can do it, what you can do, but I can do it better. So if you're in the sauna for an hour, I'm going to stay in the sauna for an hour and 10 minutes. Not advisable. There were many, many times I stayed in way too long. I think the longest I ever stayed was an hour, but I stayed in too long, and then my adrenals were just crashing, and then I couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. It's just too exhausted. It took me sadly, it took me a long time to learn that. I used to take an infrared yoga class, and it was crazy hot in there, and we did a 90-minute infrared yoga class. And then I did it on Saturday mornings when my kids were little. My husband was home for the babies, and then I would crash on the couch for the rest of the day and couldn't do anything, and thought that was normal. Took me a minute to realize, nope, that's adrenal failure, fatigue, and this is not beneficial anymore. This is not a good thing. So intensity does not mean it's going to be better. What makes it better is your consistency. So even if you did a half an hour a day, that is better than an hour a day, 3 days a week. Half an hour every day is better. Half an hour, 3 or 4 days a week. You got to find a pattern that works best for you. And I do what I can in the season I'm in. I have not been using it as much as I would like to right now. We are crazy busy this summer. Seems like I've got one kid going one way and another kid going another way all the time, and we're traveling a lot. So it hasn't been used as much, but I will get back into it. So again, do what you can in the season you're in. Some common questions. Can infrared saunas reduce inflammation? Possibly indirectly through stress reduction, and improve circulation. Evidence is limited. It works for me. But if I'm giving the internet answer, evidence is limited. More research needs to be done. Can they detoxify the body? Sweating does eliminate some substances, some toxins. Your liver and your kidneys are your primary detox organs, but sweating can be a way to expel some toxins. So when I am in the sauna, I basically am constantly drying myself off. I do dry brush when I first get in there, when my skin is dry, and that will help to get the lymphatic system going and help to drain your lymphs. And then once I start sweating, I'm constantly drying myself off. Do infrared saunas cause a flare? For some individuals, heat can be problematic. For me, no. I mean, I love it. It's been great. Trial and error. I'm not saying go out and buy a sauna tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. But maybe start at a sauna house down the street, or if your gym has one, and see how you like it. See how you respond. Got to do a little bit of consistency. See how it makes you feel. Do I have to own one? No, you don't have to own one. Many gyms and their spas and all that stuff can have it. It was easier for me. It is easier for me in the season of life that I'm in. It feels like getting to the gym is an impossibility. And this is right upstairs. So if I have a problem getting there, that's on me. Things I knew, wish I knew. I think I touched a little bit about this: consistency over intensity. Um, I wish I had started with shorter sessions. I really wiped myself out for a long time, and I was addicted to it at one point, and that's not probably the best practice either. It's not a miracle. I never claimed it was a miracle. It just makes me feel better. That's all I know. Um, I guess maybe in closing, my biggest lesson isn't that everyone needs an infrared sauna, but maybe is that every woman, especially mothers living with an autoimmune disease, need permission to pause, recover, and care for themselves. I find that best and easiest to do when I'm in my sauna, because I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck. I am resting, I am pausing, I am recovering, I am detoxifying, I am sweating. I'm feeling like my old self again. Like the act of sweating like that feels like my youth when I was working out and playing basketball and training hard and running marathons. It just feels like my old self. And I am able to recover and rest and sweat at the same time. And I love that. Infrared sauna, it hasn't cured my autoimmune disease, but it's helped me feel like more like myself. Managing an autoimmune disease is rarely about finding one magic answer. And it's about building a collection of support that helps you thrive. What that looks like for you, I don't know. I hope it's an infrared sauna and we can become really good friends and we can chat about ours. It's funny because I do have a handful of friends that have them, and we do have infrared sauna conversations. And the ones that are out there now, they got TVs. You can turn them on for your phone. Um, Mine, I have to walk upstairs to turn it on, which is sad to say because there have been times when I've been a little bit on the lazy side, or my knee hurts and I don't want to go up there. I usually send my kids up if they're home. So I have that. Um, so let's look at my infrared sauna. Let me show you a little bit about it. I can see it all. Okay, so it has lights on the inside and outside, but we have some light therapy, and there are different healing properties. You can Google that. I mean, that wasn't part of my show here, but mine is a 3-person sauna. I need to clean the door. These are the panels. They give off the heat. There's panels on the floor. There's panels there. There's panels on the side and windows. So when we moved into this house, I did get a 3-person sauna. I can sit down. I'm 6 feet tall. I can sit with my feet elevated. I put a towel down. I sit in there. One thing I did want to mention is one of the benefits of having one at home is when it's an infrared sauna, the infrared light heats you from the inside out, but your clothes will block that. So I have this room. I shut the door. Everybody knows not to go in the sauna room when the door's shut. Not that anyone comes in here anyways, but me. And I wear underwear. That's what I'm comfortable in. But I sit on a towel. I have a towel to dry myself off. I do the dry brushing, as I mentioned, to get my lymphatics going. I do like this massaging of all that facial stuff that everyone talks about too on social media. And I like to stay in there for 30 to 45 minutes. Probably too long for most people. Sometimes I only have 20 minutes, and that's what I do. I feel good the longer I'm in there. So I'm drinking a lot of fluids. I tend not to do it at night. It keep me up at night. I have to use the bathroom and in the middle of the night, and that's not good. But a lot of people do like it at night because it relaxes them and they sleep better. So it's just a matter of finding what works for you. I do recommend, if you get your own, not wearing a lot of clothes in there, not wearing jewelry. Some of these things can release toxins when they get warmed up. It's like drinking water out of a plastic bottle that's been baking in the car in the sun for a day. You don't want to do that either. It's not good for the chemicals get released or whatever. So again, I've been down the rabbit hole of the holistic healing and all of that stuff for many years. This is something that I learned during that time, and it has stuck, and I love her, and she's my baby, and she's not going anywhere. God forbid something happens to her, I will buy another one immediately because they're awesome and I love it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer questions on what I've learned and how it's helped me. It can dry out your hair. I get that question a lot, like sitting in the heat. There are wool hats that you can wear. That sounds like insane. Who would put a wool hat on? But it does help protect that. You can get the saunas that your head doesn't go in. I don't think they're as relaxing. They're not, I feel like I'm in a box, like coffin. I like the room. I have a friend who got a one person one, and it's very small. I have not been in it. I've seen it. She lives in Massachusetts still, and it's just like, it's not my favorite. I like the bigger one. I like to not feel like I'm locked in a room. So it has lights. It has windows. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got windows on either side, which is nice. So I can see out. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got on infrared saunas. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to answer them. Please check out my website, theautoimmunemom.com. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can get every episode there. You can leave a review. And also, please, please, please leave a review on wherever you're getting episodes. So Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Really would like to share this message. You can also, on my webpage, as I said at the beginning, you can sign up to be a guest. I'd love to hear your story. No story is too small. No story is too big. I'm happy to share it and build this community. So thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great day. Before we wrap up today's episode, I just want to say thank you for being here and spending this time with me. If this conversation resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you'd follow or subscribe to the Autoimmune Mom Podcast wherever you're listening, and take a minute to leave a review. It really helps other moms who are navigating autoimmune disease find this space. And if you know of another mom who might need to hear this message, please share the episode with her. You can also connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Autoimmune Mom Podcast, where I share encouragement, resources, and up-to-date updates on new episodes. And don't forget, you can download my free Autoimmune Mom Survival Guide using the link in my bio on my socials. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and I'll see you next week at the Autoimmune Mom Podcast. Take care of yourself, Mama. Your health matters too.